I think we're going to tie this up and move on with our first section, which we like to call the stack. Yay! Let's keep talking about this. First thing that we are going to talk about.
Oh, nice. What is that?
This.
Comic books. Desert Hawk.
Comic books. They're graphic storytelling.
All right, all right. Okay. This is not the room for sarcasm. Well, what's Dagar Desert Hawk? Never heard of that before.
I have no idea.
Look it up.
Google image search.
You stumped Wade.
You stumped Wade. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's a British thing. You go.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about again 2 issues that came out. Amazing Spider-Man 588
Issues that came out.
What?
2 issues that came out.
Well, it's true. What are you?
Who knows?
It's like tagline.
All right. Anyway, these names are here.
That'll be on the cover of one of these books.
These issues came out.
That's my
Okay.
stat.
I don't know if you've seen these. I
think you've probably seen them. So let's talk a little bit about ending up the character assassination arc. What went into that? How does Spidey end up in a different place than he was in the first?
Mark Guggenheim was handed the thankless job of wrapping up all of our first-year subplots in 5 issues. It was a lot. He had a lot to maintain and get through. We had a serial killer arc running with the election, and we had some characters we needed to really make major status quo changes to, most notably the character of Lily Hollister, who's dating Harry Osborn, who Harry Osborn proposes to within this. She ends up being a mystery villain named Menace, who's been haunting Spidey through the year. And at the end, she goes away with Norman Osborn, who's now in charge of the Marvel Universe. So that's setting a weird triangle. And you're not sure if it's romantic or what between Norman and Lily and Harry. We just released a cover where we find out that Menace is pregnant later in the year. But it's pretty, it's some pretty disgusting stuff. And I gotta say, Mark.
We'll explain to you what goes into that.
Well, when a man loves a Superman.
Wait, supervillains don't use birth control? What the hell?
That's why they're evil. Anyone that uses birth control is evil.
They're wet.
Let's not make this weird.
Condom man.
Too late. Wow. If you had ever gotten laid, I would worry about that statement.
Whoa! Hey! This is...
That's the best reading of your name.
I've had this name all my life. I've never had a reading like that.
Did you feel any concern tying everything at the end of the year with a nice bow like that?
Yeah. Well, to Mark's credit, this was not an easy story to crack, and Guggenheim is one of the most easy guys in the business to deal with in terms of he'll write something out, he'll get it all out, we'll take a look at it, and he'll realize, you know what, this doesn't work. Let me start over from square one. And he had to do that with this story. Like the pieces were so difficult to fit together because he's writing parts of other people's stories too. And with all the Spidey stuff, there's 5 people to answer to. It's a hard book to work on. Yeah. And I thought Mark did a real banger job. And Johnny Jr.'s art throughout this with Klaus and Dean. I mean, you can't beat this stuff. And Barry Kitson came in, did the story of how Lily became Menace. I'm pretty proud of this.
Yeah.
I mean, they're glad there's no Obama story in this trade.
That asshole.
Yeah. This is great. I think for those of you who it's really excellent. And the thing that I appreciated the most was how well the 2 issues work together to tell a full story, which is very cool.
Oh yeah, because in this one there's the epilogue.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Coda.
Yes.
The code.
It's a musical term.
Now, I want to talk about the fact that a lot of people take shots at you in the Spider-Man books, like "Eat it, whacker," like little side notes in the comic. It seems like
just stuff you're writing.
Yeah, you write that.
No, that's in there.
He doesn't see a lot.
Oh, yeah, I don't read your copy.
Weird. I sent it to you.
He threw it through your window attached to a brick.
Yeah.
So,
Here's what I didn't know about comics when I started. That the editor's notes would always say, like, editor, read Spidey 54 for more details.
Yeah.
Editor. They're written by the writers.
Yeah.
And the writers tend to use that to mock me generally.
Right.
And I I have a funny last name, so what can I do?
It's no, it's
I don't
enjoyable. It's enjoyable to be reading along and then someone to be like, "Suck it, Steve." And I was like, "Oh,
I'm glad that appeals to you.
yeah. you don't laugh when you
Let's
read
see the theatrical version, and during the rest of the show, someone can yell out, "Suck it, Pete!"
You've been to one of our shows.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Cool.
Half of the writers on the book don't really like me that much, so I've come to peace with them.
No, really?
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
I thought it was.
Wait.
This is getting very serious. So we're going to move on and talk about something we can all rip on, which is Azrael gets done. Of course, following up on the Smurfs, which is very exciting.
It's well written. It's beautifully illustrated.
Yeah. What did you guys?
Oh, Fraser Irving.
Are you a fan of the character at all?
I mean, yeah.
My editor-in-chief created him, so yes.
Real, that's right. That's right.
Joe
Joe
Quesada.
Q designed the character, so they did a flashback.
No.
So
What did you guys think about this book?
Pretty bad. It was just, you know, it was a lot leading up to him putting on the outfit and then getting stabbed immediately.
Yeah.
That was
It's
like,
a really-
whoa, it's good that you had that on.
Really climax when he puts that outfit on. Took my head away.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a little tough to get a handle on what the idea of the series or where it is.
Well, it's very weird. The original Azrael was a guy from this religious. Was a cat.
Gargamel.
That later was spun out into this human
Oh,
who worked for this religious cult and became Batman. And this is like a totally. It's like, oh, there's this other religious cult that's also evil that has this other guy who's also evil. So it's like, why did they just use the first one?
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't the first guy die at the end of the Azrael series originally? Doesn't he die?
I think he does, because they mention here, like, he might be dead. But it makes it seem like, well, I bet we'll see him in a couple issues.
yeah, I don't know. It just feels not essential to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, the top of the cover says Battle for the Cowl, which means essential.
Oh, okay. Fair point.
So, maybe you should
Would
read
you say
it.
pick it up?
Not very good.
Nope.
Cool. All right, let's go on and talk about Church of Hell, number 1.
Look at that cover.
Yes.
Oh. It's highly
This is actually
effective.
written by Alan Grant, who you might remember from Jurassic Park. So that's pretty cool. What did you guys think about this issue? You picked it up.
It was horrible.
Oh my God! What am I looking at?
It's,
What's the elevator pitch? What's the high concept? What's
It's a guy that goes to a church of hell.
Church of Hell. It's all right here. It sounds like your first album.
Ways, Church of Hell.
I'd rather read that. Basically, a guy has a horrible face, and he's like, "Oh, if you only knew how I have this horrible face," and then he flashes back to, I guess, the beginning of the story of why he has a horrible face, which is he lied about cheating on his wife, and then knocked a guy off of a balcony, and then ended up in a church of hell. And that's where we end the story. Is he has entered a church of hell? Church of hell.
The thing I get about the story is the woman, or the guy has sex with a woman, which I don't understand. They're young, so I'm really disconnected.
That is weird.
It's super weird. I actually didn't mind it. I thought this was all right.
Really?
Yeah, the guy, he has a bad day, kills a guy. And happens. I mean, I think we've all accidentally knocked someone to their death. And then,
What time is it now?
yeah. And then he runs away and gets in trouble, and then he wanders into a church of hell.
Wow.
Church of Hell. Need a bit for me, Church of Hell.
This is one of those things that you look at the cover and read the title, and you're either like, "I want to read that," or you don't.
Or your feet, where you're like, I don't care.
It's not one more day, so it's probably great.
Impression, that's an impression.
it's actually a pretty good impression.
No, in fact, Steve Wacker is a classically trained actor. And so he can do that stuff.
Alan Grant, though.
Wow.
Alan Grant, classic Batman writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really?
No, it's the guy from Jurassic Park.
Oh.
The character from Jurassic Park.
Big Jurassic Park.
I'm so confused. Is this Alan Grant or not?
It's their show humor, though.
You know,